Hello everybody and welcome back to Manor Lords, where we are currently working on dealing with some issues that were largely of our own creation. We have a lack of food in Newslow right now, but we're working on that. It is currently February, so things should be relatively okay. We're still working on constructions over in Immenruth, so nothing too much to do there. In Ica now, we've got 4 months of food and fuel. I feel like we could definitely do some additional work here. I'm wondering where our forager hut is. Okay, we've got 2 families in there right now. I'm going to put an additional family in there. Now, over in Zawao, there's currently no food. We are, however, grinding the windmill here, and the communal oven here should be baking as of right now. So this should be relatively good. And we do have our hunting camp and our foraging camp up over here. It'll take a little while before this is really ready to go. But that'll be fine for the moment. We can definitely see we've replanted some trees over here, so that seems fine. Waldbrand is in a pretty good spot here. We've got 93% approval currently. I didn't notice it during gameplay, but after I exited the game last episode, I noticed that we got the achievement for having 100% approval in a large town. So we must have hit that at some point. I'm not sure exactly when that would have happened, but presumably that's something that did happen. So that's, neat. We could put a family into something. I'm just wondering what we want to do with this extra family here. I know I talked about that last episode where I didn't really have a plan for that family. And I still don't, really. Like, I'm not sure what we want to do with this family. We could put them into the granary, I suppose. Sure. Seems okay. So, Newslow is at 1 month of food right now. And Selbitz we're going to be settling, but we're not going to be utilizing, at least until we get the achievement, we're not going to be utilizing the wild animals or the berry deposit. So we want to get this going, like, now. Because we need to get farming going here as soon as possible. So, we're not going to build a hunting camp, we're not going to build a forager hut. What we are going to do is we're going to put in a settler camp, and that's going to go right around, I think kind of right up at this crossroads is a decent spot to put this. So this is going to be a town. This is going to be a modest town. And there we go. So we are not going to be building anything over here. So that's fine. We are going to need to get some basic necessities built here very quickly. So first things first, let's actually grab ourselves a woodcutter's lodge. Or actually not a woodcutter's lodge, but a logging camp. This is the first thing that I want to set up here, and we'll put that maybe like down over here. There we go. We're going to need a woodcutter's lodge as well. I'm not building a forester's hut. We're not building a hunting camp here. So we're going to need a sawmill eventually. We can put that in about here. This is awkward that it decided to put the tents on the road, but okay, whatever. We're going to need a granary, and we're going to need a storehouse. So let's do that right about there. That'll be fine for now. Okay, I do want to get a well going here, and that can be like right out over here. Okay, so that's getting going. It's February right now. As soon as we roll over to March, we're going to want to have a farmhouse ASAP. No doubt about that. So we're going to need to get this logging camp done as the highest of priorities. There we go. Okay, so that'll take a little bit to get that online. Now, over here in Zawao, there's currently no food, but we are baking, and we know that this was net positive in food previously. So I'm not too concerned about it. We just need to bake our way through the deficit. Right? So that should be reasonably fine, in theory. We're currently transporting, waiting, transporting, crafting. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on over there. So that seems fine. The next question is, how are things going in Ica now? Well, things are going fairly well. I'm wondering about our malt house here. We have a malt house here, right? Do we have anyone working in a malt house here? Livestock trading post. Do we have a malt house? I'm not convinced that we do, actually. So we should definitely put in a malt house if we don't have one. It looks a lot like the communal oven, actually. Like, that is very similar, but it's not quite identical. I'm just looking through here and seeing if we do have a malt house. I don't think we do here. So a malt house is going to be necessary. Let's get that put in. It's right here. Never mind. It's just not built yet. Okay, that's fine. So that seems okay for now. Now, up over this way, we're definitely going to want to start getting going on fertility. Yeah, fertility is just good across the board. Doesn't really matter where we build this. So that's fine. The saw pit is being built. The woodcutter's lodge is, well, the logging camp is what needs to be built most. And we're definitely working on that. So that looks good. So we're currently at 3,025 gold. I'm going to wait until we have paid the royal tax. That's in 7 days. So that looks relatively fine for now. We're going to be coming out of the winter here. Let's get this saw pit built. We're going to need a fair number of families here, of course. But getting the logging camp built is the absolute top priority here. Okay, that is now built. I want someone in that right now. Okay. Now, we're going to need to start construction on a farmhouse fairly quickly. I want to put the farmhouse, like, right up over here. Apparently, this is too steep to build it there. We could put it down here, I suppose. Yeah, we could do that. But we don't have enough timber at this point. So we're going to need to wait on that. That's understood. So down over here in Zawao, things are going okay. We're just kind of waiting at this point for the winter to end in most of these locations. Cool. So we're going to need to get to, what was that achievement? Hang on, I'm going to pull up the Steam overlay here. And this has been changed, that's for sure. Okay, that's... Okay, I don't know where the achievements in this are now, at this point. I know that the Steam overlay isn't actually being picked up here. Here's the achievements. Cool. So let's see here. What we would need to do here is get to small town without hunting or gathering berries. Okay, sounds good. So we're going to continue to work on that. Now, I want to check over in Zawao. Yeah, we can see we've got 1 month worth of food here. If we check in at Newslow, we can see we've got 1 month worth of food here, so this is holding. Okay. I don't really love our food importation situation here. I'm going to bring this back down to 10. Because I feel like it's just really expensive. And we're going to be importing some grain, but I'm actually going to halt this importation for right now. Well, should we? Maybe we should continue running that grain importation for the moment until such a time as this field is properly online. Okay, so there's our taxes paid. Now, I'm going to hop into our army here because we need to bump up our retinues again. Like that. Then we can go into here and do the same thing, bumping this up to 24. And then we've just got this one. Oh, 22 out of 12. Okay, we're waiting on additional... This is... Okay, high saving. Yep. This is in Zawao. So presumably, yeah, we haven't rebuilt this manor yet. So that's the problem there. That's not an actual problem. As far as this retinue goes, we're going to toss a bunch of money at the problem. Bring that up to 15. Okay. So this manor needs to be rebuilt. We are waiting on additional families to move in. We've got space for 2 to move in as of right now. However, we haven't seen anyone moving in Zawao in a while. We do have low population growth due to neutral approval. Okay. It should be fine, though. We've got this, in theory, under control. So I'm going to cruise forward a little bit here. The thing that we really need to be worried about right now is Selbits. So we're working on that. We just finished our saw pit here. I'm going to put someone into the woodcutter's lodge. And we're going to need to get some burgages going eventually. I'm wondering where Burgage Town is going to be here, and we'll just kind of make it up, most likely. Let's see. Is this actually connected together here? It isn't. Now it is. Cool. Actually, is this connected? Now it definitely is. Okay. So that looks good. And we're just waiting on the granary to be completed here. We're waiting on the saw pit is done. Okay. What I want next is absolutely that farmhouse. So that's going to go, I guess, right up over here. So we're going to get going on that. We've currently got 3 families working on it. So the farmhouse is being built. The granary is going in. Okay. Next, we're going to need a storehouse here. And I'm going to put that right out over here, but we are lacking the timber for it right now. So that is understood. We are going to need some families out in the fields, and then I think we're going to plow the fields out over here. I think we're going to have fields here for now. And we're going to... I'm just thinking here about how we want to do this. We plow the fields, and then we build burgages after the fields are growing, I think is the way to go. I kind of wish the saw pit was on this side of the road. Actually, we can relocate that for free. So if we can put this somewhere out over here, that would be great. Yeah, do it. Okay. So that looks good. I do want the farmhouse to be on highest of priorities at this moment. So get working on that. The saw pit is not the biggest priority here right now. Royal taxes increased. Yeah, that's not shocking. Okay. It is currently March. I want to check in on our food situation. So Newslow has no food right now. Presumably these foragers are now actually going to forage. So that looks good. Out over here, these guys are mining because it's a deep mine. Understood. We're hunting here, and these fields are all fallow. These fields... Well, this field is currently fallow. This field should be planted. Why is crop rotation on? Okay. We're going to grow wheat here. So these are all set up correctly. I don't know why this field wasn't, but whatever. These fields out over here, there's a lot of work to be done on them. No doubt about that. So we're going to have our farmers get to work on that. In Waldbrand, we definitely have some more work to do. That's for sure. These fields, or rather this field is fallow. This should not be fallow. Crop rotation, turn off, please. We're going to plant rye here. Okay. Down over this way, we have a lot of field work to do. Zawao turns out had some issues last year. I can't imagine why that might be. Okay, so that is looking fine for the moment. Over in Selbits, we... Okay, I guess we're up here now. I do really, really want to get this farmhouse built. We've got 3 logs in storage there. Okay. And we're going to need to start getting some fields going. I'm wondering, can we build a field over this? Actually, yes. Would it delete this, though? That's an interesting question. I also want to relocate the hitching post to be up over here. There we go. That'll be fine. So we're going to need to get these farms going as soon as possible. I'm going to put a field out over here. We're going to go for about 4... That's only 0.4 Morgan. Okay. 0.6 Morgan. That feels very small. Okay, that's 0.9 Morgan. We'll do one there. And then I'm going to put in a similarly sized field over here. 1.0 Morgan. Okay. We're going to bring in a field over here. And a field over here. Except we've got that issue. So we're just going to do something like that. Okay. So that'll be fine. We're going to grow barley in the smaller fields. And then we're going to grow wheat in these larger fields on 100% fertility. Okay, that seems pretty good. So let's get this farmhouse built as soon as we can. We're waiting on additional timber to be transferred over. We're making progress on it, but that ox is slowing things down. There's only the one ox. So that's definitely on the slower side. Okay, the farmhouse is being built now. And we're going to assign 2 of these families into the farmhouse. They need to go get these fields online right now. Now we've only got 1 family on construction. I'm actually going to assign that family to the field as well. We need to get the fields plowed and sown. Yes, I'm aware that unassigned families are needed for construction work. We need to get these fields dealt with, though. We also are going to need to build some burgages, and I'm going to get started on those up over here about like that. That's 8 burgage plots. Oh my. Okay. Yeah, we'll wait on some timber for that. It's going to take a little bit to get that all dealt with. Cool. So out over here in New Slow, we're definitely seeing them plowing up the new fields that we put in. That looks good. Although we are still at 0 food right now, and that's less good. No doubt about that. So the trading post is going to continue to bring in some food to keep us afloat. We've also activated our forager hut at this point, so we are getting some amount of food in from there as well. We just need to get through the spring and summer until the harvest, where this will be a significantly better harvest. In theory. Okay, so down over in Waldbrand, we are currently working on this field. That seems fine. And that field is going to get sown very, very quickly indeed. We're also working on some plowing out over this way with our oxen. In fact, all of these fields are being ox plowed. Okay. I'm not sure what these guys are doing, but it's fine. So, down in Immenruth, we just finished up our livestock trading post. So what that, of course, means is that we need to get our sheep farm done. We're a ways away from getting that done for now. Immenruth is in a reasonable spot. We're harvesting the berries. We have our hunting camp going. It should be okay. Where is our hunting camp? Here. Yeah. We should be able to sustain this on what we've got for now. We're going to do something about that a little later on. We're going to want to start getting some crops grown for sure eventually. But for now, I'm much more interested over in Selbitz. We've only got 2 months of food right now, and that of course means, as the achievement suggests, that we're going to need to get some trading posts going. So we're going to do just that. I'm going to put in a trading post about here. And that is going to be the highest of priorities for right now. Okay. Now, the question is, how much do we have for fuel? Well, we have no fuel consumption. So I'm going to pull this family out of the Woodcutter's Lodge. We're going to send them over to the farmhouse because we need to get this going as quick as we can. So they're going to go help out with this, but it's not going to be great, right? That is going to take some time. No doubt about it. Our other fields are being plowed over here in New Slow. It's looking decent. This field has been planted. We're going to get 14 wheat out of it, which isn't great, but it's not nothing anyway. Cool. Currently getting 6 wheat out of this field. Yeah, it's going to be slow. So over here in Selbitz, we have no source of food as of right now, which isn't great. That's not great at all. But for the moment, it's fine-ish. We've only got the 2 months right now. I kind of wish we had thrown more money at this, actually, and gotten more initial starting bread. That would have been good, now that I think about it. But how do we want to get ourselves some starter food here? Well, we need to get these fields plowed, for sure. We've got 2 months of food for the moment, so I'm not too concerned about that for the absolute current moment, but it's okay. We're still working on getting these fields plowed over in Zawau. And we can see that our yields are going to be okay, but this is not going to be the finest of yield years. But it should be better than last year, in theory. Yeah, requirements not met because we don't have enough food. That is to be expected. We need to make our way through this growth cycle. Again, we're not planning on going campaigning this year. We're taking... Oh, I guess we're looking here now. I don't know why we're looking here, but I guess we are. That was exciting. We're not planning on going campaigning this year. We are taking a year off of the campaigns. Okay, so we're just working on plowing up our fields here. Stocks have been damaged by weather. Yeah, that's to be expected. Pantry is full in Waldbrand. Noted. And we're still working on plowing up these fields over here. Looks like we have planted this field. Good. And over in Zawao, we are making some progress here. Looks like we just finished sowing these fields, and we've just got our ox plowing this remaining field. Okay. So it's currently April, and we definitely want to get this going here. Or rather, we want to get this done. But it's going to take a while, with only a couple families working on this, and they're small families to boot. So that's definitely going to be a while. No doubt about that. But we are making some amount of progress here. This field is currently, I wish I could read that, 80%. Okay. This field is 73. This field is 57. And this field is 66. So we're well over halfway done here. That's looking good. It's very slow going, no doubt about it. We're also pretty much out of food here in Selbitz, which is a problem. I'm going to pull a family out of the farmhouse for right now and set them back to construction because we need to get this trading post built. That needs to happen, like, right now. So we're going to need an export, right? We're definitely going to need an export. Let's get this trading post built. And we're still working on getting these fields set up. But eventually we'll get there. Eventually. Okay, so the trading post is now done. So, we're going to need to have a family in here or establish a trade route, but that seems expensive to establish a trade route. We could export timber. That is an option. It's probably not going to be... Actually, we can't export timber, can we? It has to be refined into planks. Okay. Just looking at our resource options here. So we currently have 3 bread. That's noted. I think what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get these burgages built. Step 1. So we're going to go something kind of like this. We're going to have to back off a bit on that to about here. Yeah. We'll get going on that. That'll be fine for now. We need to continue to work on the fields here. We're sowing this field now. Family members joined one of the settlers. That's fine. This is disconnected from the major trade route. I beg to differ. It's on the road. I don't think it's actually disconnected. It's literally on the King's Road right here. I guess we'll try building the road like this and seeing if that counts. I guess that did. Okay, sure. Very strange. So we're half done sowing this field. This field is 91% done plowing, 71 here, and 68 here. Okay. So we're working on the burgages, but we do need to get a family into the trading post. I'm waiting for this field to get sown. So we're at 60, 66, 74, 81, 85, 90, 93, 94, 95. Okay. So this field is sown. I'm now going to pull a family into here from the farmhouse. So we're going to pull the family into the trading post with the idea being that they are going to import something. Some food. perhaps eggs. Or meat. But I don't want to do meat. That might disqualify us. So I'm going to do eggs here. So we're going to import eggs, and we're going to look for a surplus of 10 of those. Okay. That's going to eat through our regional wealth very quickly. But that's okay. So we're going to continue to work here. This is 97% plowed. 98. 99. And 100% plowed. Okay, yeah, they do want market area. That makes sense. We should probably put in some market area. So that'll be fine. The marketplace can be... Yeah, that'll do. Right there for now. Cool. So now we're starting to sow our barley over here. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten to sowing the wheat yet. But that's okay. It's definitely going to take some time. And we spent all of our money on food here. We've got 4 eggs. So it's some amount of food anyway. We need to get these burgages built so that we no longer have the homelessness anyway. And we can start putting in some eggs here in theory, but this costs gold. So we're going to need to get some export going. That's understood. So I'm waiting for this field to get fully sown. We're on 29% right now. Noted. Family members joining the settlers is good. And we're working on these burgages. Okay. So how's the plowing going here? We're at 95. It is May, so this is of course very late, but we knew this would be the case. We absolutely knew that would be the case. 58% on this sowing. It's going very slow with just this one guy sowing. But that isn't surprising. We've only got one family working on the trading post. Or rather, only one family and 2 families in the farmhouse. Never mind, 2 families. So we're now working on sowing in this field, and we're at 76 here. Okay. New families started moving in Immenruth. That's okay for now. So, I do want to get our saw pit having a family in it, so that we can start exporting some planks and have some form of income here. We've spent all of our money at this point on eggs, and we're going to eat those eggs very quickly. So I don't want to get any additional import there. We're going to say no trade on that, and we're going to start exporting planks with a desired surplus of 10. Okay, I'm going to pull this family out of the trading post for right now, and I'm going to put them into the saw pit, where they're going to start working on making those planks. Cool. So this field is 93% sown. 94, 96, 97, 98, 99, and 100. Okay, I'm now going to pull a family out of the farmhouse. We're going to leave just one family in the farmhouse, and this family is going to go to the trading post. This is being sown. We're at 61 there, and this is almost done being plowed. We're not going to have a lot of grow time here. That's understood. And I want to keep a construction reserve of like 5 logs here. That'll be fine. Okay, so we're waiting for logs to be brought around here. We're still working on getting these burgages transported. Lack of food here is, of course, going to be a problem. There is hunger. We're working on it, but it's going to take time. No doubt about that. Okay, so this field is now sown, and we're working on sowing this field. It's going to be a bit problematic, for sure. But we need to get our saw pit going here. We're still waiting on the ox to carry the logs up to this burgage up here, which isn't really ideal. But it should be done very soon. In theory. Yeah, we're carrying another log on up. Just waiting on this burgage to get built, and that will deal with all of our homelessness here. Hunger is still absolutely an issue. No doubt about that. Keep in mind, we have no source of actual food right now. Our settlement level here just increased. So, what do we want to go for? We could go for orchardry. We could go for beekeeping to get apiaries. And actually, I think that's a pretty good idea. We're going to grab beekeeping here. That sounds good. And now we immediately want to get an apiary going. But we do need to get this log in here. We need some saws. Or rather, some planks. It is time to put a cut in here, though, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to work on cell bits here. We definitely need to get some food going, but apiaries will help that. In theory. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Tommy Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.